AP Cram, the AP Human Geography exam, free response question 39, Demography, population structure and economic development. Remember that section 2 consists of free response questions. There are 3 questions that should be formatted as short essay answers, and you have 75 minutes to complete them, so allocate your time properly. The free response section is 50% of your exam score. You're required to define and explain and apply geographic concepts and also interpret geographic data. Okay? All right, so the population pyramids represent 2 countries, country A and country B, at different stages of demographic transition. Country A, if you look at one of my previous videos, is in stage 2, and country B is in stage 4, or you could even argue that it's in stage 5 of demographic transition. And economic development. So discuss one positive impact of each country's population structure on its economic development. Okay, note here we have stage 2 and here stage 4 slash 5. Okay, I'll give you a moment to gather your thoughts and write out a concrete answer on paper. If you're taking the AP, if you're using this video for review for demographics or epidemiology, you don't need to do that, or you might need to, depending on whatever your task is. All right. Okay, so based on the population structure of country A, what can be said about its economic development? And while you're taking more time to formulate your answer, note that country A, again, is in stage 2, which is the early expanding stage of demographic transition. So here we see high birth rates, falling death rates, large youthful population. Hence, this is a developing country. These are all the population indicators of a developing country. Okay? So basically, country A has an expanding or large workforce, again, because of the growing youthful or younger generations. The youthful population can spark creativity. You know, young people are very creative and they're more receptive to change. Older folks are kind of stuck in their ways, especially in the age of technology and the Internet of Things. I know a lot of older folks who do jump on the bandwagon, but some don't. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. There's less need for immigrant labor because you can hire teenagers to work in a lot of the service businesses where people who are immigrants, you know, might see working at McDonald's as a come up. And it probably is because they're slated to pay $15 an hour, which is really good for a lot of people. Shoot, I'd probably work there myself. Yeah, so there's less of a need for immigrant labor and less need for elderly social safety net in terms of income. All right, so people's income tax doesn't have to go as much to Social Security because there's a fall in the amount of post-retired older generation. Okay. All right, so what about country B? What does their population structure suggest about the country's economic development? Again, while you're formulating your thoughts and writing out answers, if that's what you need to do, this is a stage 5. I don't know how to put this. This is what stage 4 or 5 would look like along the demographic transition trajectory proposed by Malthus. Okay, there's a low birth rate, low death rates, there's an aging population. This is a developed nation. This is what this suggests. Okay, So for country B, there's going to be an educated, skilled, experienced workforce. There's also going to be a low youth dependency ratio, meaning, youth having to depend on their parents or an older population for money, room, board, housing. Again, there's not as much dependence here. More women in the compensated workforce. Okay, this is what this indicates or suggests. And then there's also going to be a tendency to spend discretionary income on needs other than education. And if you're not familiar with the term discretionary income, it's like the income that remains after you deduct taxes, other mandatory bills that you have to pay, and expenditures that you have to spend on necessary items like food and shelter and utilities and things like that. And this population might need immigrant labor, which allows citizens to take higher order jobs now that they're becoming more educated and skilled. Okay? All right.